Naoya Inoue, a 120-pound monster with the power of a wrecking ball. They call him the Monster, and if you've seen him fight, you know the name fits. Because what this man does to opponents at bantamweight, it should be illegal. He hits so hard, so fast, and so clean that even fighters 100 pounds heavier than him have openly said they wouldn't want to take his punches. 29 wins, 26 knockouts, 0 losses, undisputed in 2 weight classes, world champion in 4, and more than any belts or records, Naoya Inoue has something rare in boxing: fear. Not his fear of others, others' fear of him. Today, we break down how Naoya Inoue became boxing's most terrifying puncher, pound for pound, and how a man who barely weighs 120 pounds has the entire boxing world on edge. Let's get into it. Naoya Inoue was born in Japan in 1993 in Zama Kanagawa Prefecture, a quiet city that would one day produce a thunderstorm of violence in the boxing world. He came from a humble, working-class background. His father, Shingo Inoue, wasn't a professional champion, but he was a disciplined amateur who believed in structure, technique, and toughness. More importantly, he believed in raising fighters, not just physically, but mentally. His method? Start them young. And Naoya was his first project. At just 5 years old, Naoya was already in the gym, not just playing around, but drilling fundamentals: jab, footwork, defense, repeat. While other kids played video games, Naoya was perfecting how to throw a punch in balance, how to pivot off the center line, how to stay relaxed under pressure. By age 7, he was sparring. By age 10, he was winning amateur tournaments. By 12, he was dropping fully grown men in the gym. He wasn't even a teenager, and already word was spreading. That Inoue kid is different. He didn't just have talent, he had instinct, an ability to read punches like he was watching them in slow motion. And when he hit back, it wasn't just fast, it wasn't just hard, it was sharp. It felt like getting stabbed with a lightning bolt. His teenage years were consumed by boxing. He lived it, breathed it, studied it. And he wasn't alone. His younger brother, Takuma Inoue, followed closely behind him. Their father trained both, building a strict, no-nonsense culture around repetition and discipline. He believed bad habits weren't allowed to form once. He corrected everything: form, posture, timing, until perfection was the only option. Inoue's amateur career became the most decorated of any Japanese teenager in his generation. He fought internationally, facing fighters from Cuba, Kazakhstan, Russia, the best of the best. And he didn't just hold his own. He won. Often. By the end of his amateur career, Inoue racked up a record of 75 wins and only 6 losses. He captured multiple national titles and reached the quarterfinals in the 2011 World Amateur Championships. But even then, there were questions about his style. Was he too aggressive? Could he adapt in the pros? After all, Japan had produced many solid champions, but very few who crossed over into global superstardom. Very few who struck fear in fighters outside Asia. Inoue's answer? He skipped the 2012 London Olympics, turned professional at just 19, and within months, he was already fighting 10-rounders. That's when the real monster was unleashed. He debuted at just 19 years old, and within his 4th fight, he won the Japanese light flyweight title. Most fighters spend years getting rounds in. Inoue spent months collecting belts. By his 6th fight, just 18 months into his pro career, he challenged for his first world title at light flyweight against Adrian Hernandez, the reigning WBC champion. Inoue didn't hesitate. He walked through Hernandez like he wasn't even there. Power shots, pinpoint accuracy, vicious bodywork. He stopped the champ in 6 rounds and became a world champion at just 20 years old. But Inoue didn't linger. He didn't coast on that belt. Instead, he skipped the flyweight division entirely and jumped 2 weight classes to 115 pounds. There, he challenged another champion, Omar Narvaez, a veteran with over 40 wins and only 1 loss. Inoue knocked him out in 2 rounds. 2. Narvaez had never been dropped. He had never been stopped. Inoue folded him with a body shot that echoed through the arena. At that point, the world started paying attention. He wasn't just beating champions, he was destroying them. Fast, efficient, cold-blooded. At super flyweight, he defended his title 7 times. He became a star in Japan and built a cult following around the world. Hardcore fans started calling him one of the best in the world. But Inoue wasn't content with being a niche name. He wanted the biggest stage, so in 2018, he moved up again. This time to 118 pounds, bantamweight. And this would be the run that turned him from a hidden gem into a global monster. His first fight at bantamweight was against Jamie McDonnell, the reigning WBA champion. McDonnell was a big bantamweight, had never been stopped, and was considered a tough test. Inoue stopped him in 112 seconds. That wasn't a fight, that was a statement. And the statement was loud. It doesn't matter what weight I'm in. I'm still the most dangerous man in the division. Shortly after, he entered the World Boxing Super Series, a high-stakes tournament loaded with killers. Round 1, Juan Carlos Payano, a skilled former champion. Inoue knocked him out with a single right hand in the first round. Next up, Emmanuel Rodriguez, undefeated, International Boxing Federation champion. Fast hands, great footwork, didn't matter. Inoue dropped him 3 times in round 2 and knocked him out cold. By this point, people were terrified. He wasn't just winning, he was ending careers. The comparisons started rolling in. Pacquiao, Tyson. But the truth is, there's never been anyone quite like Inoue. His hands are like precision-guided missiles. His footwork puts him in position before you even think to move. And when he lands, it's lights out. The final of the tournament was against Nonito Donaire, a future Hall of Famer, a 4-division world champion, a living legend. And finally, Inoue met someone who could take his power and fire back. The fight was a war. 12 brutal rounds. Both men landed bombs. Inoue suffered a fractured orbital bone, a broken nose, and fought through adversity for the first time in years. But he didn't wilt. He bit down, dug deep, and in the 11th round, he landed one of the most perfect body shots in boxing history. Donaire dropped to a knee, grimacing in pain. He got up, but the fight was sealed. Inoue had proven he wasn't just explosive, he was elite. He was tough. He won the fight, the tournament, the belts, and the hearts of boxing fans worldwide. And just like that, Inoue wasn't just the best in the division. He was in the top 5 pound for pound on every list. But he still wasn't done. He defended his titles several more times with ease, knocking out Jason Maloney, Michael Dasmariñas, and Aaron Depayan. Each time, it was like watching a surgeon with a sledgehammer. Then came Paul Butler in 2022, the final piece to the puzzle, the last remaining world champion at bantamweight. Inoue dominated for 10 rounds before finishing Butler with, what else? A perfect body shot. And just like that, he became the undisputed bantamweight champion, the first in the 4-belt era, the first Japanese boxer ever to do it. But if you thought Inoue was finished, you haven't been paying attention. In 2023, he moved up again to super bantamweight, 122 pounds. His first fight, against Stephen Fulton, An undefeated American with slick skills, sharp defense, and 2 world titles. On paper, this was Inoue's toughest fight yet. Fulton had never lost. He was bigger, longer, and technically superb, but Inoue made him look like a novice. From round 1, Inoue controlled the ring. He cut the distance, landed clean jabs, and worked the body. By round 8, he hurt Fulton with a thunderous right hand, then jumped on him with a barrage of punches. Fight over. Fulton down. The belts were Inoue's. Most fighters struggle when moving up. They lose their power. They get outboxed. Inoue, he gets scarier. He now holds world titles in 4 weight classes. He unified at super bantamweight in just his first fight. He's on track to become undisputed in 2 weight classes, back to back. And yet, he's still only 31, still undefeated, still knocking people out. Ask heavyweights who spar him. They'll tell you the same thing. He hits like a middleweight. He stuns you with gloves on. He breaks your guard with speed and timing, not just power. That's the secret to Naoya Inoue. He doesn't rely on raw force. He delivers punches so perfectly, with such mechanical precision, that they land at maximum damage. It's like physics. His technique is flawless. His placement is surgical. And his timing? Nightmare fuel. No wasted motion, no trash talk, no drama. Just business. And business is booming. So when you hear people say, he's too small to be great, remind them, power doesn't have a weight class, and fear doesn't care about size. Naoya Inoue is the kind of fighter who rewrites the rules. He's not just dominant, he's redefining what's possible in boxing. He's the future, he's the present, and until someone figures him out, he might just stay undefeated forever. Because if punches could be outlawed, his would be first on the list.